Hi, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be making lasagna. Now let's have a look at the ingredients. Here's the ingredients. We've got 3 cloves of garlic, 1 brown onion, 1 red onion, all finely chopped. Then we've got about 5 rashers of smoked bacon here chopped up. We've got a good teaspoonful of mixed herbs. We've got 300 mils or about 10 fluid ounces of beef stock. And then we've got a kilo or 2.2 pounds of ground beef or minced beef. We've got a couple of tins of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. We've got some olive oil for cooking in, and then some salt and pepper for seasoning. So let's get over to the hob and start cooking. Here we have a pan, bit of olive oil in there. It's nice and hot. We're going to add the mince or ground beef, and we're going to cook that till it's all browned off. Beef is nicely browned off, so we're going to transfer that to another pan and carry on with the cooking. Now the beef's off to one side, resting. It's important as well, before you start cooking, get it out of the fridge about 15 minutes beforehand. Let it come up to room temperature. So to this now, olive oil in there again, heated up. We're going to add chopped up bacon, and we're going to let that fry off for about 4 or 5 minutes. It's been frying now for about 5 minutes. The bacon's nice and pink and cooked. So now we're just going to add in the onion. So brown onion, red onion, garlic, give that a stir, and add in the mixed herbs, and stir around, and let that fry off for 2 or 3 minutes. Frying up now for a couple of minutes. The onion's gone all nice and soft. So now we're going to add back in the meat. Give it a stir. Let it fry off for a minute. Now add in your tins of tomato. If you want to make it obviously more tomato-y sauce, then you can add in more tins of tomatoes. I like my sauce to be a little bit more meaty, so that's why I only put 2 tins. You can put in another 1 or another 2 if you so wish. Now we add in the stock. Give it a mix. And we're going to leave that to simmer for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, checking it occasionally to stir and make sure it hasn't dried out. We're also going to add in a little bit of salt and ground black pepper, just for that extra bit of seasoning. While that's simmering away, let's make the cheese sauce. So for that, we've got 2 tablespoons full of plain flour. We've got 50 grams or 2 ounces of salted butter. We've got 100 grams of cheddar in here. That's about 4 ounces grated. I've also put a little bit of grated Parmesan on the top for an extra bit of kick. Now you could use 50% cheddar, 50% blue cheese, or the cheese of your choice. And then we've got 500 mils of full fat milk. That's about 17 fluid ounces, and then a little bit of black pepper for seasoning. So let's head over to the hob and start cooking this. Right, we have a saucepan on the pan here. Add in the butter, let that melt down. When the butter's melted, add in the flour. Let that mix around. When you've got it nice and smooth, add in the milk. When you're doing this, you do not want to leave this unattended, because if you burn any part of this, that's the whole sauce ruined. So we've added the milk. We're going to let that come up to temperature, and then we'll add in the cheese. As the mixture warms up, start adding in the cheese, just a little bit at a time, and let it dissolve and melt. And keep stirring. Again, because you don't want it to catch on the bottom, because then the sauce will be destroyed. And you can see it's all thickening up quite nicely. That cheese is melting in. We're having a nice cheese sauce. If you find the sauce isn't thickening, then you can add a little bit more flour to it, but I think this is fine the way it is now. So we'll keep that stirring. When you're happy, all the cheese is melted in, lift it off the heat, keep stirring for a little while and set it to one side. And that's your sauce ready. Okay, the bolognese sauce is done, cheese sauce is done. Let's assemble the lasagna. I don't think I showed this, but I did add a bit of ground pepper to the cheese sauce, give that a little bit of extra kick. I've got my pasta sheets here, so I'm just going to lay a bottom layer in the dish here. This is about 6 inches by 10 inches, this tray. And this usually makes enough to make about 8 portions. Of course, it depends how big you want your portions. So we're just going to fit that in. Now I know some people with their sheets, some people like to perhaps sometimes pre-cook them. So sort of blanch them in some boiling water for a couple of minutes. I don't do that. They get enough cooking in the oven with the sauce. So we put down a layer of sheets. That's also the other question. Do you put a layer of pasta on the bottom? I always do. Some people don't. So now we're just going to put in some of the bolognese. Make a layer. Really, it's up to you how thick you want to make this. I make it probably about 1/2 inch, 1.5 centimeters thick. So there we have first layer bolognese. Now we just add some cheese sauce. Let's pour a little bit on there. We're just going to smear that around the top layer. Again, it's up to you. How much cheese sauce do you want on there? And now we just repeat that. Building it up in layers. The little broken bits around the edge. So I'll repeat this process and then I'll show you what I do at the end. So we've got the final layer on there. I've got about 3 layers of sauce and cheese sauce. So now over the top here you can see I've put all the broken bits of pasta sheet on there. I'm just putting the rest of the cheese sauce on top. And we're just going to spread that around. And on top of that, I've got some grated cheddar cheese, and we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of that around on the top. And then we're going to pop this in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, or about 360 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 40 to 50 minutes. So we've got a nice golden brown melted cheese on top. So I'm going to pop that in the oven then, and we'll look at it when it's done. There we go, one lasagna cooked. It's been in the oven for about 40 minutes, ready to serve up. There we go, guys. That's how I make my lasagna. If you've been here this long, hit the subscribe button for me. Give me the old thumbs up. Any questions or comments, put them down below. I'll pop another video here and here, the old subscribe button in the middle. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.